Hey, what's up cricket fans? Welcome to Reverse Swing, the cricket show और मैं हूं आपका दोस्त अहमद और आज हम बात करेंगे about the 30-20 between England and Australia. जैसे कि आपको पता है कि सीरीज ऑलरेडी डिसाइड हो चुकी थी, but there was still the T20I ranking that was at stake between England and Australia, and if Australia managed to win the last match, then they would reclaim their number one status. So शुरुआत हुई, Australia won the toss and they decided to field. England went into bat and they scored 146 at the loss of 6 wickets, and Australia managed to get the target done in about I think it was the last over. तो जहाँ तक रही थी स्क्वाड चेंजेस थोड़ी सी हुई थी, इंटरेस्टिंग स्क्वाड चेंजेस इंग्लैंड की हमें कुछ एक्सपेक्टेड थी. वी हैड हर्ड दैट बटलर वाज नॉट गोइंग टू प्ले द लास्ट मैच because of family reasons, and rightfully so. He was also adjudged the man of the series, and Captain Morgan also did not get to play because of his injury. So उनके replacements, as we expected, Billings there, and then Joe Denley was the other um, player that we expected to get a match, and he did. Australia side, there were a couple interesting changes. Warner was given a rest along with Pat Cummins, and हमने बात की थी लास्ट वीडियो में एलेक्स कैरी के ऊपर. मे बी मैटी वेड माइट गेट अ चांस और जॉश फिलिप को भी गेम मिल सकता था. तो सरप्राइजिंगली जो है वो एलेक्स कैरी वाज बेंच्ड फॉर दिस गेम, नॉट रेस्टेड. आई थिंक ही वाज omitted from the squad, and Matt Wade got a chance to play. So a couple of interesting changes from at least on the Australian side of things. Moeen Ali was captaining for the first time as an official in an official capacity. So I think overall he did a pretty decent job, I think, managing the troops. I think there were, अगर इंग्लैंड की परफॉर्मेंस या फर्स्ट इनिंग्स की हम बात करते हैं, there were definitely some opportunities, and there was an opportunity to also avail some chances, right? I think a couple individuals failed to avail those opportunities. First of all, being Tom Banton, हमने कहा था last video में कि he may get an opportunity to bat up the order, and he did not. He got out cheaply again. And then the other individual was Sam Billings. I was expecting that he would grasp the chance that was given to him and hopefully get a 30 or 40 odd, but he failed to capitalize on that too. जो डेनली के अगर आप स्कोर कार्ड देखेंगे तो आपको लगेगा कि बड़े ज़बरदस्त इनिंग्स उन्होंने खेली है, एंड 3-4 चौके भी उन्होंने मारे हैं. बट इफ़ यू एक्चुअली वॉच द मैच, जो कुछ एक्सपर्ट एनालिसिस हम जानते हैं, वो मैच नहीं देखते बट एनालिसिस ज़रूर प्रोवाइड करते हैं. तो आप देखेंगे, आई थिंक 3 of the 4 boundaries that he scored were edges, and they were consecutive boundaries, but very disappointing to see the way he was getting runs. We talked about leg spinners in our last video. Surprisingly, in this game, the leg spinners came back. Zampa bowled, I think, much better than the first couple games, and he picked up a couple of wickets. And then on the other side, Adil Rashid के में काफ़ी वीडियो से बात कर रहे थे, but he bowled exceptionally well. He picked up 3 wickets, including a beautiful googly that he got to bowl out Aaron Schwinn, the Australian captain. एक और इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ थी वो ऑस्ट्रेलिया स्क्वाड में थी कि हेजलवुड फाइनली गॉट अ गेम. सो बड़ा अच्छा लगा. आई काइंड ऑफ व्यू हेजलवुड एज ए वेरी experienced, more on with the red ball cricket, right? But it was good to see test match players वगैरह भी हैं जो उस caliber के, they're able to do very very nicely in a T20 format. On the Australian batting side, Matty Wade came, एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत well timed shot उन्होंने, almost बड़ा ही ज़बरदस्त, almost like flick type of shot था, बड़ा खूबसूरत लगा था जो जॉफ्रा आर्चर को उन्होंने मारा for a 6. But then he got out, right? He only scored like 14 of 9. And then surprisingly, once again, Australia decided to shuffle their batting order. Not sure what's happening with their batting order. Marcus Stoinis came 1 down. If you have a batsman with the caliber that Steve Smith ka hai, I would always want that batsman to go and play as many balls as he can, right? अगर ये बात हुई होगी कि अगर आप इंडियन टीम में खेल रहे हैं इन T20I और अगर विराट कोहली ओपन नहीं कर रहे हैं, and if he typically comes down at his number 3 spot, अगर KL राहुल या शिखर धवन या रोहित शर्मा उठ जाते हैं, तो will you really bring विराट कोहली at the number 5 or 6 spot? No, you won't, right? You want your best batsman to play as many balls as you can in a T20I match, and you expect the same for Australia to do with Steve Smith. So it's very surprising that they continue to kind of bring him down the order. Doesn't matter what the situation is. I think Steve Smith is exceptional batsman, a decent enough batsman where he can adapt his game to whatever the situation commands. तो वो मुझे समझ में नहीं आया। थोड़ी सी कहानी ये लग रही है कि आई थिंक शेन वॉर्न सीम्स टू बी इन्फ्लुएंसिंग द ऑस्ट्रेलियन कैंप क्वाइट अ बिट। अगर मैंने सेकंड मैच के बाद एनालिसिस देखा था जब वो बटलर की तारीफ़ कर रहे थे, सो शेन वॉर्न की कहानी है कि ही ऑब्वियसली इज़ प्लेड अ लॉट काउंटी क्रिकेट में भी हैम्पशायर के लिए यूज़ टू कैप्टन दैट। अगर आपने ग्राउंड भी देखा होगा उसमें पीछे शेन वॉर्न का नाम लिखा था ऑन वन ऑफ द स्टैंड्स। दूसरी बात यह कि इज़ एसोसिएटेड विद द मेलबर्न स्टार्स की जो बिग बैश की टीम है उनके साथ, प्लस ही ऑल्सो आई थिंक एक्ट्स एज अ मेंटर फॉर राजस्थान रॉयल्स। तो जॉस बटलर प्लेस फॉर राजस्थान रॉयल्स। तो एनालिसिस जो था जो सेकंड मैच के बाद मैंने देखा था, आई थिंक इट वाज शेन वॉर्न वाज वेरी इन्फ्लुएंशियल इन काइंड प्रमोटिंग जॉस टू गो एंड ओपन फॉर राजस्थान रॉयल्स। और वही जब वो गए उन्होंने ओपन किया, उसके बाद ईसीबी ने भी देखा तो दे वांटेड टू एम्प्लॉय सिमिलर ऑप्शन हियर एंड सिमिलर अप्रोच विद जॉस। आई थिंक मेलबर्न स्टार्स के लिए जो है ओपन करते हैं मार्कस टॉइनस। So he's accustomed to playing top of the order, and I think once again, I think probably a lot of influence coming from past cricketers, experienced cricketers like Shane Warne to kind of push Marcus Stoinis up the order, which is good. But really need explosive batsmen at the top of the order, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure Marcus Stoinis is the right answer or not. But I think that's where अगर हम जो conspiracy theory लेके आते हैं तो I think that's where that shuffling of the order is coming from in the Australian squad. आई थिंक हमने बात की इंग्लैंड की साइड पे जो फेल हुए, ऑस्ट्रेलिया की साइड पे भी फेल हुए, और एलेक्स कैरी डिड नॉट गेट अ चांस टू प्ले दिस मैच। आई थिंक मैक्सवेल का नाम चेंज करके मिनवेल रख देना चाहिए क्योंकि मैक्सिमाइज नहीं कर रहे हैं अपना पोटेंशियल। तो मिनवेल जो हैं वो ही नीड्स टू स्टेप अप। आई थिंक very difficult to see him being in the ODI plans, but let's see what happens. Steve Smith, very unfortunate. I mean, he gave the return catch to Adil Rashid. Adil bowled beautifully, but I think with his experience, he should have been the one to just kind of close the match on. Once again, it should have been a match with Australia को जीत जाना चाहिए था in the 16th or 17th over, maximum in the 18th over, but लकीली फॉर देम मिच मार्श केम एंड जिस तरह उन्होंने बैटिंग की शुरुआत की लग नहीं रहा था कि वो लाइन क्रॉस कर पाएंगे क्योंकि स्पिन उनसे बिल्कुल भी पिक नहीं हो पा रही थी। बट ही वर्क थ्रू हिज स्ट्रगल्स एंड देन ही वाज एबल टू गेट हिज टीम ओवर द लाइन, एंड दैट्स रियली व्हाट मैटर्स एट द एंड ऑफ द डे। आई थिंक ब्राइट स्पॉट अगर हम देखें मेरे ख्याल से ऑस्ट्रेलिया के लिए द होल सीरीज मे बी हैज़ बीन एस्टन एगार। आई मीन ही इज़ बीन डूइंग अ गुड जॉब finishing the innings on the batting side, and bowling wise he's been okay as well. I don't really kind of view him as a typical finisher, right, that Australia has accustomed to seeing in the past. अगर आप देखें माइकल बेवन एक काफ़ी अच्छे प्लेयर होते थे, हसी काफ़ी अच्छे प्लेयर होते थे, और लेटली काफ़ी टाइम हो गया, 1-2 साल हो गए उसको। जेम्स फॉकनर वाज अनदर प्लेयर दैट वाज रियली गुड एट finishing things off. Ashton Agar, I think, is going towards that. He doesn't really have that explosive capability, but I mean, I think he's doing a decent enough job for that. So let's see what happens. It looks like he seems to be in Australia's plans for the World Cup. So as far as World Cup squads are concerned, I think Australia definitely has to think a lot about their middle order and what's happening with that. I think they have the bowling pretty locked in. Opening pretty locked in as well, top 3 are locked in. England के लिए I think थोड़ा सा मसला होगा दाविद मिलान. We talked about आज हमने दाविद मिलान की बात ही नहीं की. He scored about 29, I think 29 or 30 odd. He scored that. That was enough for him to rise in the T20I ranking. So currently he has displaced Babar Azam as the number 1 T20I batsman in the world. But he ऑब्वियसली इतना स्कोर नहीं किया उन्होंने, वंस अगेन अपने टिपिकल 50 स्कोर नहीं की, तो उनकी एवरेज ड्रॉप हो गई है. तो कंग्रेचुलेशंस टू विराट कोहली एंड बाबर आजम शान. विराट कोहली इज बैक इन नंबर 1 फ्रॉम एन एवरेज स्टैंड पॉइंट, फॉलोड बाय बाबर, फॉलोड बाय दाविद नाउ. I think David has done enough to justify a squad or spot in the England lineup. I kind of look at the England T20I lineup as being let's see, we got Butler along with Jason Roy when he's healthy. Number 3 pe Bairstow, number 4 pe David, number 5 I think needs to go Morgan, number 6 Stokes, 7 Ali, 8 Rashid, and then 3 bowlers which would most likely be Chris Jordan, Mark Wood, and Jofra Archer, right? So last 5 obviously batting order is floating. But that's what I think my playing 11 from a T20I perspective would be. I know Captain Morgan is trying to squeeze in Joe Root as much as he can, but I think they might run into the same problem Joe Root जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया स्टीव स्मिथ के साथ कर रही है. Anyways, तो ये था हमारा मुख्तसर सा तबसरा आज about the T20I and the 30 T20I and the overall series between England and Australia. Hopefully आपको पसंद आया हो. I think Friday is when the first ODI match is about to happen, so we will be back with you guys doing an analysis on that. So अगर आपको वीडियो पसंद आई हो तो please like, comment, subscribe and share, and until next time we will see you back on Reverse Swing.